out at the Navy? Top two priorities for you.
Yeah, absolutely. So the first major priority is something I mentioned earlier, and that's the Master Data Initiative. But that actually leads us into data cataloging that helps us know what data we have, where it is, who's responsible for maintaining it. And something we've recently added to that is what we call the terms of use of the data. And so we want to tag all of our data with appropriate set of metadata that tells us who can have access to it, what kind of legal restrictions there might be associated with the data, and any sort of statute things, and what I could normally discretionary access sort of control on the data as well. And then that leads us directly into not only that information in the data catalog, but actually tagging the data to make that linkage, right? So that's a major initiative that we have ongoing right now that starts with that mastering of the data and the tagging of the data. And the other thing that we've just recently started, it's something that I tried to do about 2 years ago, and we just weren't mature enough in the platform and in our program to really get after it, but that's customer engagement. And that's really, and I think Kirsten mentioned it as well as Matt as well, it's really understanding who our customers are, understanding what their needs are, and sort of creating acumen programs and use programs tailored to their needs that allow them to maximize the time that they spend inside of our platform. And we've just started a number of training initiatives right now that are really focused on data scientists, which quite honestly, there's a lot of information out there to train data scientists. But when you have your basic digital citizen, an ensign who is just, come into the department or whatever, or a new Marine that has just landed, how do you get them to understand the value of data? How do you get them to understand whenever they're updating that maintenance record after, doing some sort of action on an aircraft, for example, understanding who's going to end up using that data and how that analytics applies. So we've stratified our workforce a little bit, and we're trying to create that tailored set of training. And so we're in this kind of existential debate right now about whether or not we have mandatory training or not around data. And so that's a little something that we need to get after. So I've actually been talking with the Federal CDO Council as well, and kind of how we can share some of the training initiatives we have ongoing right now. So I think it's an exciting time. It's really, that blossoming of that workforce combined with that data platform and the infrastructure, as Matt said, right, to really get after the use of the data for purposes that we've never been able to do in the past.